Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrated, a hearty meal with your family.
This is a real Thanksgiving episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's time to give thanks.
It's time to give thanks.
It's gratitude season.
Yeah.
On this this episode.
I would say this episode, they really take the time to say something that they're thankful for to each person. Ray really makes sure that he does that.
Yeah.
So, this Thanksgiving season, I hope that you, just like the friends here on OnlyFriends, treat your friends the same way.
I think this is a great show for showing what true friendship really is.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just like Toy Story. We are on episode 6 of Only Friends. It's purposeful, and I get it, but like there are times where I catch myself typing OnlyFans, and then I have to be like, no, wait,
no, it's OnlyFriends. Thinking like, wait, no, OnlyFriends is wrong.
Yeah,
but it is wrong.
It's wrong. It is wrong.
The show is wrong.
The show is wrong. The show.
You wanted a car crack. I was trying to say car wreck and car crash at the same time.
I wanted a car crash.
You wanted a car crash
in this episode.
You wanted to see the car crash. You said it on episode 4 that you think it's going to be in episode 6.
Oh, like I wanted to watch the train wreck happen. Yeah. I do. It's true. It did. And it, I think, still is. I don't
think it gets better. I think it continues.
Yeah.
It's a real.
Now we're in the like aftermath of the like helicopter collapse in
Saigon.
Or like in an episode of Grey's, like a Grey's Anatomy.
Triage.
Yes. Yeah.
Where they had to set up triage by the ferry.
Right. The ferry.
Guys, come
on.
Boys
love Grey's Anatomy. Boys love early Grey's Anatomy.
Boys love early Grey's Anatomy. I can't even tell you
I just fell off. It wasn't even like.
I just fell off. It wasn't like a thing that I just stopped watching.
No.
I stopped having network TV.
I stopped when.
In college.
Spoiler alert. Because I do think people care about spoiler alerts for weirdly Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, when George O'Malley died is when I was like, I think I can't. I think I'm giving too much to this show. Because it affected me.
I think I fell off when Izzy left the show.
Sure. Season 3.
And I think it was just hard to pick up from that.
Yeah. But then Catherine was going to go be a movie star.
Yeah. I stuck around for a little bit of like the Lexi Gray era.
Sure, Lexi. Sure.
Lexi Sloan,
Lexi Sloan.
And I was there for every single
what was the
episode of Private Practice. I was
you couldn't
there
tell me anything about Private Practice. Audra McDonald?
Audra McDonald. Audra
Can I say
McDonald?
That honestly the best character in the entire
Grey's
Anatomy Cinematic Universe is Addison Montgomery Shepherd.
Absolutely. What a whole person.
What a complete individual. From villain to hero of their own spin-off.
Yes. Yeah.
You girls wish you couldn't.
Name an iconic entrance line ever at the end of the first season. And you must be the woman sleeping with my husband.
And that was a half season.
Yeah.
Because that was a mid-season replacement.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Chills.
That first season of Grey's is so good.
Is there an Addison on the show? This would be like if Boston then got a spinoff and it was like, actually Boston's the best person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be the equivalent. Except not even really because...
It would literally be...
Except not even really because Addison was like the antagonist in that she was the wife of the man who was cheating
on her.
On her.
Yeah.
But we were supposed to dislike her because she wore a fur coat.
Shonda really knew how to write a good line.
Knows.
Shonda continues.
Shonda is. These lines from Shondaland. Oh. My God.
If anyone did get a spinoff like a Private Practice or
from OnlyFriends?
Okay. Or like a Frasier,
sure.
Like it would just be like kind of like take a life of its own.
Sitcom.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be really funny if they did do OnlyFriends and then it was like a sitcom spinoff? Yeah. Objectively, I think, and I know we talk a lot about Nick, I do think Nick could have a good
spinoff.
BL spinoff.
Absolutely.
Of like him like kind of finding an actual partner.
A real partner.
isn't
a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the easy answer would be Sand and Ray, obviously, but
see, I actually disagree.
I like a storybook start to finish.
Yeah.
When it comes to a sequel or a spin-off,
yeah.
It's more interesting when it's like a completely new life.
Spin-offs, I feel like it's for the characters that are like very tertiary. Like they're not truly in the unit because you don't want to take them out of the unit.
Yeah.
You could do full Choom.
Full GL Choom.
Yeah.
Which is very Game Boys. Their friend had like her Pearl. Pearl had her own spin-off.
Oh, as a GL? Mm-hmm. Isn't she not?
She was like dating a boy and a girl.
Oh, we love the
very
bisexual
tequila
community.
shot of love.
I bet that's what they were basing it on, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the show. Thank you so
Thanks
much
for watching, guys.
joining, and we'll see you
enjoy
next
your
time.
holiday weekend. Bye. Mew has 2 moms.
Mew to my Mew.
Which I feel like
in our reaction, we
stuff.
said it really informed me a lot.
Yeah.
We said that, and he says it too, that like their bond was so strong and they felt like such a unit. Mm-hmm. And it definitely like put very high expectations for him. I mean, people, you just like know what you know.
Do you think it explains a bit about his character and about him having a modeled, seemingly probably a very healthy modeled relationship for him that he would like to emulate? Mm-hmm. And that's why he's very like, hi, I'd like to, be wooed, be courted, be romanced a bit.
He's
whereas
like,
Top is like, oh, my parent, I don't even think they know who I am.
I have no idea how they met. I don't know. Like, they just work all the time.
Yeah.
They live to work.
They live to work.
Not that there's anything wrong with people who live to work.
Neither of our... My mom doesn't... My mom is work to family. That was my mom.
Your mom is work to family.
Not even work to live. Work to be a mom.
My mom, like, she works to support. You work here and then...
You send money. Or gifts.
Pasalubong. Balikbayan box.
Top, there's this weird moment. Sorry, not Top. There's this weird moment with Mew and Top where Mew, again, it like reminds Top that like, I just know that you haven't been with someone longer than 3 months.
Right.
And like at this point, okay. We know what we know. We, the audience, you and I, know what we know about Top and what he did. Mew doesn't know this at this point. So separate that out. Mew, as a person who has now slept with Top and told him he loves him, you have to stop bringing up that like
but you've never had a relationship before, so I can't actually really trust you.
Yes,
girl, you've already given yourself to him.
The deed is done.
The deed is done. You've given yourself to him. You've already said you loved him. Right. So like you're in a relationship.
You can't, it feels wrong to keep being like because like in a world where Top hasn't done anything wrong, why are you doing like what?
Yeah.
Top was a different, like, let's say truly Top did change. He did it. But in a world where he did change, like, you're rubbing salt in the wound. You're, like, opening wounds. Like, I don't understand. Yes. What's the point?
It's that thing of, like, you're still not truly over it. Because if you are, you wouldn't keep bringing it up.
Yeah. You just, like, don't trust him. Which, like, fair. But then, like, why are you with him if you don't trust him? Yeah. Just don't date him, girl.
Do you two like each other?
They're in love, RJ. They're madly and passionately in love with each other. I would say Ray is still pissed at Boston.
Yeah.
I don't know if Boston's pissed at Ray per se, but
they can't stand each other.
And they are like at this like hangout after they had like a meeting with their professor.
Whatever.
I didn't even care.
Who cares?
I was like,
who cares about this stupid project?
Who cares? And then they went out to like lunch or they went to a cafe.
And they just
like Mew and Choom are like, oh, ki ka 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 ka.
And
these two are like glaring at each other. It is so clear. And they do not notice whatsoever because they're having a birthday party for Mew. And they want everybody to bring their significant other.
Yes. And so they're like, so who are you guys bringing?
So
Boston, you should bring Nick.
You're dating Nick. And Nick, he keeps having to be like, no. I don't date people. I fuck them. Whatever, girl.
Do your show, girl.
But he will invite Nick. They're not dating, but he will invite him. And then
you should invite him. He's building your stupid website for this class.
Nick, you need to stand up and you need to start getting compensation for your work.
For all of your work. Absolutely.
Because you are an artist and you should not devalue the work that you do.
Yeah.
Okay? I say this to you as a friend.
Yeah.
I say this to you as probably your only friend.
Because it ain't these people, girl.
Nope. They are hanging out on this pier, Nick in Boston. They go back to the place.
The same damn place.
They gave the production company a discount to shoot here. Fine,
yeah,
whatever. Afterward,
they're like kiki-kakaing. They're like cuddling. They're like having a good time. Like, they're still playing this. Like, are they actually dating? Are they not? Gets tired real quick.
I think Nick is like
trying so hard to get him to like break and say, "You actually like me. You wish we were dating."
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath if I was Nick. I think it might be a bit of a lost cause. I do think there's this part when Drake, whose name is Gap, by the way.
Yeah.
He comes back up.
Yeah.
And he's like...
Boston gave him a gap, that's for sure.
That is... You are incredibly vile.
I saw the episode. And that's why he's like, hey...
He's gonna leave. He's gonna walk out of this room because of what you just said.
Gap, more like gape.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to restrict this episode to
this episode will also have the warnings like OnlyFriends.
Yes. Oh boy, Nick is telling. Okay, sorry.
Gap appears.
Nick has been like, Boston, I know you're an asshole. Okay, that was the whole bit. Boston is like, it's okay, I know you like bad boys. Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy.
And that's the thing. When you're caught like that,
wrong.
girl, it's not wrong.
That's the thing. Comment of being like, Boston never tells a lie. I don't think that's true. But I do think Boston is very willing to be like, oh, I'll speak truth to power, mama. He will tell the truth when it benefits him.
Absolutely.
Not,
oh yeah, I slept with my best friend's boyfriend.
Gap walks up. This is Drake. Gap walks up, eyebrows. He says,
Hey, why haven't you texted me back?
And Boston is very like, how dare you even talk to me? I told you not to speak to me ever again. Which, why are you walking up? I feel like that's pretty clear if Boston said that, but okay, shoot your shot, girl. And then you find out that in that like 1 episode ago, I don't remember. Boston had told Nick, somebody had recorded me without my permission. This is a bit of a...
I think just like we're very like, I don't know, just like nudes, vids. Like we're just a very...
Is that just gay or is that... I don't know. I don't know straight culture. I don't know what's going on over there for you guys. I'll be honest. And like, God bless. Good luck.
Yeah. I don't think I know any...
I don't think I know a single straight person.
I don't think so either.
I've heard.
I've heard that there are straight people.
Yeah. I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah, I don't think it's real. I don't think it's true.
It's giving big fit. I don't know. I don't know if I would say it's a gay experience to be filmed without your consent during sex.
No, but it's just very like...
But I will say I think it's exacerbated due to the availability of like recording devices all around us at all times.
Yes, yeah.
And I do think there's a problem with...
tape.
Have you ever heard the term stealthing?
Oh, God, no.
Take your condom off without your partner knowing.
No. I didn't know there was a term for that.
Mm-hmm. So Gap filmed without permission. I kind of want to go back and watch that scene and see if there's like a phone somewhere.
I don't know.
So he's like, how dare you go away? I don't want to see you ever again. So Gap walks away.
How dare you?
I think there's some other recording that's happened in the show that's going to come back to bite people in the ass. But that's the thing. Multiple people.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, but you caught him doing something bad. So.
You did, but it's also, this is like, it's the equivalent of like going onto your partner's phone and checking their texts. Of like, you're looking for something to find. So like, it's also unethical. It's also ethically dubious, blah, blah, blah. Morally gray.
I don't have to worry about that because Adam just tells me the ABO that he's reading. So I know what's on his phone.
San's mom is at the hospital. She's getting checked up for her high blood pressure. How did you feel being represented in that way?
Seeing representation like this, seeing like a presumably like a 45-year-old woman in the hospital for high blood pressure. She looks great.
I refuse to believe that Santa's her son.
No,
she looks like she's like 10 years older than him.
San's like aunt.
Yes, tita.
She gives big tita energy. I did feel represented, as someone who is
good.
Miss Hypertension. And
first she does ask, she's like, how's your boyfriend? He's like, we're not. It's not going well.
Enough, mother. Don't ask.
I think the only adult that is like a competent person.
A competent adult.
They look down, San looks down the hallway in the empty hospital. No one is in this hospital.
This is so goofy.
And he sees Top and Mew is getting LASIK eye surgery. This episode brought to you by LASIK eye surgeons everywhere. LASIK eyes.
It's so okay. Is this truly just for the metaphor? Just to be like, now he can see clearly, and now he's able to see like what.
It's definitely
Top
interesting
really
that it's in this episode that he like the truth is revealed.
Yeah.
So obviously there's the metaphor.
Yeah.
I think it's also like. It is the thing of being like, oh, the ugly duckling turns into the beautiful swan because he's not wearing glasses anymore.
Guys, do you remember the reality show The Swan? When
no one remembers this.
These women would get insane plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And then they would all recover. And then they would go into a beauty pageant between all of them. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. And I watched it like an insane person. Because I watched like all competitive reality shows.
Early competitive reality shows. I would say like pre-Project Runway. I think Project Runway started to change the game.
I think and Top Chef. I think those two Bravo shows for sure.
With like, it was like about talent. You had to have a skill.
Yeah.
Before that, people's minds were broken by reality television in the early 2000s.
Absolutely. They realized
Post American Idol.
I think it's the VH1 of it all. Like it's this how cheap it can be made.
So cheap.
And
not a union in sight.
How crazy these people will go for just a little bit of cash.
A little bit of cash and a lot of bit of fame.
And a lot of fame.
Not even like big fame, but just like
notoriety. Like people just know who you are.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like literally.
Everybody wants to be seen.
Everyone wants to be seen.
Tiffany Pollard is one of the greatest icons of our generation. I'm not even kidding.
That's good casting. VH1 stayed on cable for like years
because of her.
Have
you ever watched Keeping Up?
I never watched the Kardashians.
I've never seen an episode.
I have never seen. I only know the clips. Obviously, they go viral.
We know the clips.
Yeah, Kim, there's people that are dying.
Yeah. Get your ass up and work.
Well, that was technically
not. The
one that's in the show was like, well, if you had a fucking business that you blah blah blah, then you would know, but you don't. So don't act like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Also, not from the show, but kind of from the show. Orange soda, strawberry soda.
Oh, yeah, from a Sims parody.
Yes.
We have to talk about OnlyFriends.
Fine.
We're clearly avoiding the final moments of the show.
Mew's getting LASIK. That was the point we were trying to make. We don't know why. How did we get to where we got from that? Mew is getting LASIK. Is it for the metaphor or is it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we don't know. I would never get LASIK. You could have chronic dry eye and it terrifies me. Okay, we are moving on. They go to get drinks at the Okay. Top is going to go get drinks at the coffee stand. Sand is going to go get drinks at the coffee stand. Again, the hospital, empty.
It was so funny.
Sounds.
Not a single sound. It's so funny because they walk up to the same coffee thing together and they look at each other. And I told Adam, I was like, Sand is mad because he heard the tape. He knows that he cheated on
Yes, because Nick let him hear it.
Let him hear it. And then like 10 seconds later, it was like, oh, and I guess, he stole his boyfriend. I completely forgot that was...
He doesn't really care about the tape, but the tape is good blackmail.
The tape is good proof points.
Collateral. They're very uncomfortable with each other. They're both big alpha energy.
Okay, so this scene is supposed to show it is the catapult for Sand to expose Top, right? This moment is what makes Sand be like, well, now I have to get that tape and then just find a way for Mew to know. I think this scene does a good job because it's just, I mean, I already felt like there's something going on. He has not felt any remorse, and it feels so weird because we've only we've only seen Top with Mew pretty much since the Fort Anglia.
Yeah.
So now it's the first time that I'm actually
except for that elevator scene. Yeah.
I'm actually hearing him to someone else just be like, I can have anyone I want. And I'm like,
he's correct. He's out of control. Okay. What are your... Why do you think Sand sets the wheels of this episode in motion?
He shouldn't be with someone like him.
No, he doesn't care about Mew. They're not friends.
They're not friends.
No one is. First of all, nobody's friends.
I don't think Ray is involved in this.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think
because I think there's either two ways to look at it.
You think he uses this to talk to Ray?
I think you can either think that he does this because he's getting back at Top.
I think that's
I don't think it has even anything really to do with Mew.
No.
I think Mew is just collateral damage.
Yes, yeah.
But I think he wants ruin Top's life the way he felt like Top did to him or whatever. Yeah. But then there's also the does he think that somehow doing this is going to help Ray move on from Mew?
There are too many damn
links.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that. Yep. That's right.
But how would it?
Yeah, that wouldn't bring Ray farther away from you. That would only bring Ray closer to you.
Unless he's zooming out big picture, right? Sand might be the smartest character on the show. I'll say that. What if he's looking at it and saying, I'm going to show this to Ray. Ray is going to tell Mew. But Mew is going to hold it against Ray that he showed it to him.
Ooh.
And so that'll hurt their friendship.
That'll hurt their friendship.
So I'll get more of
Or at
Ray.
least clarify the boundaries more. Because right now it's too up in the air.
I would say if his goal is to at least make it very clear to Ray that Mew is never going to love him, that does happen in this episode.
Yeah.
It is explicitly stated.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I love trying to figure out what
are the actual intentions.
Well, yeah. What's the reasoning?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sand smashes his phone to bits on the way up the stairs to his apartment.
And then you're like, oh, I need your phone, Nick.
Because, by the way, his roommate works at a phone store.
Yeah.
So he is like, oh, hey, I need to call my mom. She's in the hospital and my phone's broken. Can you check this out and I'll use your phone to call my mom? And Nick's like, sure. Goes in the other room. Nick finds the voice recording, sends it to himself. And then, by the time Nick comes back in the room, he's like, oh, yeah, Mom, you're doing great. Okay, have a good day. Bye.
But see, okay, when Nick gets his phone back and Sand leaves, Nick looks at his phone and then looks very puzzled. So does he know that he looked at it or try to access it?
I don't know.
I don't know because he never brings it up again.
And I'm going to say this too. This is a great idea. Don't do this. Oh, none of that. Anything that any character does in the show, you should probably do the opposite in your regular life. Okay. That being said, this is great. Using this to get the recording. They hand me an Android, and I would literally be like, I don't fucking know how. I do not my boss has an Android phone, and he'll be like, can you do this for me? Yeah. And I'm like.
We have talked about getting a Samsung phone.
We would get a Samsung if only just
for our next KCON or next concert. Just no SIM card.
Six times zoom
just
or whatever.
Just to get that zoom in those photos in that video.
Yeah. Full terabyte.
A full terabyte. And they're like, do you need a plan? Zoom.
No.
Unlock it.
In fact, I don't.
No, I don't need a SIM card actually.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi only.
This is a glorified iPod at this point. Sorry, MP3 player.
Zune.
Wow. Whoa.
Loved my iPod Nano. Oh my God, I love that little guy. Oh my God.
I didn't have a Nano. I bought my boyfriend a Nano.
Why didn't you buy me anything?
Don't start. Here's the thing. RJ is not a good gift giver.
No, absolutely not.
Top takes me home after the procedure. He's wearing... Oh my God.
They literally cut off the ends of 2 water bottles, put them over his eyes, and then put Scotch tape over them. 4 strips of Scotch tape. And look, I've never had LASIK, so I don't know if this is the actual thing.
Yeah.
But it can't be.
It's so goofy.
So goofy.
And I don't really think the scene...
didn't really do much for me. No, it didn't really do anything for me.
No.
That's what I'm noticing a lot from Top and Mew. He was basically just another scene of him showing more that he trusts him and then draws him sleeping.
I will say, I think the first half of the show, because they have to wait to get to a point in the plot mountain.
Yes.
They have to stretch them out a little bit. Yeah. It's a bit like the first act of Frozen the musical, where they just had to fill it so that they could make Let It Go the end of Act 1. Yeah. Ray and Sand are playing pool. Sand called Ray and was like, "Hey, meet me and we'll hang out," or whatever. And Ray comes over and is like, "So are we going to talk about the other night? Is that what we're doing?"
And he's like, "Oh no, I don't care about that."
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Just say you like him. Just say you like him, but I know you're bad for me.
Literally,
all you have to say.
Why are we... Oh my God. Here's what you do. Sand, I hope you're listening. You say, listen, I'm very much developing feelings for you. I don't think you reciprocate them in the way that I want you to. I think it's probably best that we stop hanging out. Mm-hmm. Please take care of yourself. I don't want to see you drive drunk or anything like that. That's how this all started. Da 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 da. Have a good life, whatever. Yeah. Because I don't think Ray's coming around anytime soon.
I don't even think it's about Sand, and I think he. No, do you think he knows that?
I think Ray likes Sand.
Yeah.
But I think Ray is so hung up on Mew that he can't even see Sand.
Yeah. But I still believe that it's misplaced, his feelings for Mew. I don't think he actually loves him in that. I don't think he's in love with him. I think he loves him.
Sure. I don't think I think he loves the idea of what Mew is. I think we talked about this last week, where his life is so wretched. And now we know even more about Mew's background and having 2 wonderful mothers who are very happy.
Yes. He literally represents the happy life that he wants to have so bad. Mm-hmm. And so I just think it's him reacting to the only way to get it is to have Mew.
So at this pool meeting,
this Friars Club meeting at the pool hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold Hill walks in. Yeah. Sorry. Stupid. So they're chatting. I have to tell you something. And I don't want you to be upset. Top fucked Boston. And I have proof.
And
he sends him the clip.
The clip. The sample. The demo.
The TikTok. Yeah. Boston's dad had Nick make a campaign poster.
I am so mad we had to meet Boston's dad. I don't care.
Truly, of all the parents.
That one is the one that I truly don't care. It's the thing that we said about 8th Sense, where it's I don't want to see his dad. But I'm more interested in how Boston reacts and treats this looming pressure that controls around him.
I think it's more interesting when we hear the characters
talk about them
because that's how they see them.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's
unless it's about a story about your relationship with your family.
I think it's whatever. I don't care about this dad.
Yeah.
And his campaign poster looks like shit. Sorry, Nick.
Nick.
But also, this isn't your job, Nick. So I think you did fine.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't use this poster.
But I got such an ick from him. He was like, oh yeah, well, Boston, you're never going to date anyone, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, you're just fucking around all the time. Like, they were like chummy about that. I was like, wait, but you told me that like the reason why you can't have a relationship or anything like that, it's because like you're going to be in the public eye. But then it's like, okay, though, if you're like a playboy,
like you're just
sowing
your oats.
But that's okay. That makes no fucking sense.
It's very
even
weird.
From like I could tell that it's more like because it's a guy, whatever, blah blah blah. It's very like mask, like, oh yeah, like we're allowed to be like this. But even from a political standpoint, no, your son can't fuck around.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to be like, oh, someone might take a photo, because I'm like, you are like notorious. People know you for being like a slut.
You have a full red room of all the guys that you've slept with.
Yeah, what?
I feel like if I was Boston's dad's campaign manager, I'd be like, okay, first of all, get rid of all of this shit.
I'd be like,
literally
get a boyfriend.
Get a boyfriend or burn all of this. Because if there is a single person that gets into this house and sees all of these pictures, you're done.
Yes, it doesn't make sense, because you think the actual thing that they would say is like, it would be like very royal family-esque, where it's like, you just have to get married.
You just have to get married.
And everything you want to do, you have to keep it so hidden, but on the on the sheen, you have to be respectable.
Yes.
But like, he's not trying to be respectable.
No. It's so weird.
He's fucking people in public in cars. What?
And then you're surprised that someone maybe saw you or heard you.
And also Boston.
Because Boston
is going to move to New York.
Boston doesn't move to Boston?
Silly.
That's a...
It would have been a little on the nose. Swampskit. Yeah. Lynn. Marblehead. Yeah. He's going to move to New York because his mom's there. They're separated. Separated.
Yeah. No, I think divorced, because they said that your mom and her husband.
And so then this sends Nick spiraling. Not the part of them talking about like him everywhere.
Yeah.
The part of him moving to New York.
Yeah.
Is what freaks Nick out. And Nick is like, I should go. And Boston's like, baby.
But baby.
Boston, why do you...
It's so fucked.
This is the one thing that I do not understand about this character.
Yeah.
I will say this, is like, I don't understand why he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
And he doesn't need that validation of someone being like, I love you.
Because that's the thing. I think typically in a character like this, it's like, oh, he's clearly doing it because it's either misplaced. Like, he actually wants like the vulnerability to be with someone, but he just doesn't know how to do it. There's nothing.
No, he does not have that in his character at all.
He is doing it because he knows that Nick likes it, and so he's doing it.
Right.
But then he's still doing it. He's like, I am technically exclusive, but it's like, but we're not dating. But you're my favorite.
It doesn't.
Oh, it's so.
You're number one on the call sheet.
You're number one on the call sheet. It's
and he's
so
like,
annoying.
I don't care about my number on the call sheet, girl.
But apparently,
the thing is that Boston knows Nick likes him like that.
Yeah.
And he keeps egging it on.
Yes.
But knowing that it's never going to be, I don't understand.
I do wonder now if like, because now that it's the New York thing, maybe that truly is it. He's like, I can keep stringing him along because I know at the end of these couple months, I'll be like, see ya.
I guess. And he just wants he wants guaranteed
puss.
Jesus.
Sorry, bus. Do we count this as an official?
We did not count it. They start to hook up in the dark room, but we don't get enough. Because they basically hook up about the same amount that Sand and Ray did in the dressing room.
Yes, that's true.
It was like a reach in.
Yeah.
And that's all we saw, so I'm not going to really count it. Ray, I mean, the Hurricane Ray has begun. And yeah, it's category 5.
Mama. Honey, you got a big storm coming.
Yeah. The hurricane.
Ooh, Ray. Ray.
Confronts Boston.
Barges in to Boston's apartment and basically is like, why the fuck did you fuck why the fuck are you fucking Top? And Boston is like, how did you know? And Ray's like,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. He's your friend.
It's if you didn't do it, the first question is not how do you know? The first thing you retort is I did not do that. So like by admission of being like, how'd you find out? Well,
Boston.
He starts by being like, oh my God, no. It feels like he's like caught and then immediately turns like insane.
Yes, because he's like, well, you're only doing this because you also just want to break them up because you want to be with me.
He like gets into Ray's head.
Yes. And it's fully like, so you can't tell him because it's going to break.
Okay, so he knows that Ray is a person who actually like has empathy and has like guilt. And so he knows that Ray's vulnerability would be that it could be perceived that he did this purposefully to break them up. Yeah. Even if he got something out of it, and that it would not be Ray's intention, obviously. It's very clear that Ray is like,
you fucked
you're insane.
You're insane. This is wrong. Yeah.
But he worms into his head. What did he was like he chose or I picked him.
Yeah, yes.
Which is like that is when this diabolical shift happens because at first he's like and then
like we've already fucked before, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then he like he was like of all the people in the world, he was like, oh, cuz he said I was needy. And then he was like and I picked him.
And that's even the thing when he said that, I'm like that's not true.
Oh no, it's fully true. He picked Top to fuck.
Yes. But I don't think it's true that he's like, oh, I'm just needy.
No.
He chose to do.
No, that was just something he was saying in the moment.
That to try and it was like Cylon is like trying to be like, no, it was a mistake or whatever. But
unless he was saying like I was needy because I wanted to bottom and I only let specific people bottom me. But I don't think that's what's going on there. I think that's a very generous reading of what he was trying to say.
I think it's still in the same vein of like no one's actually telling what they actually want.
Yeah.
And he wanted to see it explode. He wants
mess.
He wanted to mess it up.
And now that I know that he's leaving, it makes so much sense. He wants the whole thing to explode and then he just gets to waltz off to New York. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, like everybody is
every relationship has been broken. Yeah. Everyone is like fully traumatized.
Tattered pieces. Ray punches him. There's a whole thing.
He pushes him. He leaves.
Da.
And then cut.
And we go into the birthday party.
And everyone is like singing happy birthday.
The most rancid vibed birthday party I've ever seen.
Tap is holding this cake.
The bar is empty and it's also not because there's a scene later where there's a bunch of people in the bar. Whatever. Who cares? But
it's truly like this birthday's them singing happy birthday felt so hollow, like
sad, lifeless. This is actually, I will say this is a scene where I thought I don't think it was intentional, but I liked the sound design because it felt so echoey that I was like, this really fits the scene of what's going on, or like how we know it's what actually is going on. Shum is like, oh my God, I'm so glad you brought Nick, Boston. I'm glad you brought your little boyfriend. And then in front of everyone, Boston is like, to be clear, we are just friends. He is not my boyfriend.
Nick, why the fuck are you still with this person?
Nick, you gotta like...
You're not going to change it.
This is not good.
I want everyone to know, if you don't learn anything but one thing from our recaps, it's that you cannot change a man.
You can't, and nor should you think that you should even have to try.
Yep.
What? We need to be holding men to a higher standard.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Even if the dick is great. And I'm sure Nick is getting in that department.
I'm sure it's
I bet it's the best he's probably ever had.
Yes.
Truly.
I don't even think
I think that's the only way that explains why he's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's full dickmatization.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you gotta look at and if you're a person who's just fine with that, that's fine. Nick is just not that person.
Yeah. He wants more.
And he objectively also knows that Boston does. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Hop gives him a book of sketches as a birthday gift. Okay, I do think this is very sweet. He sketched him a bunch of different times.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's very sweet.
And Mew is like very touched by this.
He goes to the bathroom.
Mew goes to the bathroom. Ray meets him in the bathroom.
And Mew immediately is like, "Oh, are you already drunk? Are you already high? I tell you, like, don't be drunk and high. Blah blah blah. You have to stop doing drugs." And Ray's just like, "Okay, I'm sorry." Like Ray looks like he's in a catatonic state.
Ray in the bathroom is like, just know that like I really value our friendship. Blah 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 blah. And
even if you don't think
whatever. Just know I love you.
Just know I love you. Yeah. Everyone's dancing and singing, and it sounds like it's coming from one Bluetooth speaker in the corner. Ugh, it's so weird.
It's so weird.
But everyone's like dancing and singing along, and Ray gets up on the microphone and he's like, wait, I want to say something.
I think they only let him do this. I will say this because he has money.
Yes, because they let him speak for a while.
A very long time. I know that they're regulars at this bar. Even still, at some point you would be like, unplug the microphone.
Santa's telling him to stop, but Yo was like, no, go ahead, whatever, say whatever you want to say. And he's like,
because Yo is under the impression it's going to be a very sweet,
yes, that's
Mew is my best friend.
Absolutely.
And I'm so proud of him, and he's doing such a great job, and I'm excited to celebrate our next year around the sun, blah, 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 blah. And guess what, Mimi? It is not that. It is, oh my God. I think I make very conscientious decisions in my life. I try to be very thoughtful about what I do. And I think it is very, sometimes it can feel, I don't know if rewarding is the right word, but like cathartic to watch someone make the worst fucking choices you have ever seen.
Absolutely.
And watch the slowest train wreck happen in real time in front of your eyes.
I know.
And watch the whole place start to go up in flames. And no one is stopping it, by the way.
No one's stopping it.
It's crazy.
Because there's that inherent, like, everyone is thinking this. Everyone knows that this is kind of how we generally feel, but no one's saying it.
Can I tell you what this scene reminds me of now that I'm thinking about it?
Well, and the reaction we said,
at the bachelorette party in Bridesmaids. When she goes crazy and starts like tearing the cake apart and everything. Yeah. Okay, I need to say this. Chum and April are barely in this show. And I was so offended that they got called out as well, because I was like,
to target them first, because there was truly a like throwaway comment in the earlier scenes
in the cafe
that it's like, oh yeah, April's like filming another
indie movie and it's so weird.
And I don't see her because like whatever. And I don't even know why she spent so much time on it, because it's going to be another weird movie that I don't understand. Yeah. Or like I'm not smart enough to understand or whatever.
Yeah. And basically that is exactly verbatim what Ray on the microphone tells everyone in this bar about these two lesbians and their relationship. That's problem number one. He turns next to Boston and is like, you're basically a piece of shit.
You're a little cunt.
You're a little cunt. Another Bridesmaids reference. He basically is like, you don't know what you want and you use everybody in your life, blah, 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 blah. Rounds on Nick.
Yes.
And I was like, Nick is not in your group of friends. You don't. It's one thing to call out Chum because technically she's your friend. If you're just going like, I'm calling out my friends.
Because they're all
fine.
I mean, yeah.
Then you need to call out Chum, Boston, And Mew. That's the end of the list of people you need to be calling out because you are not close to Nick.
Yeah.
You got high together one time. You are not friends, girl. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Because you could stem it from like everyone keeps saying how I'm a degenerate. I'm the one that's like ruining my life by drinking. When in reality,
want to see how we ruin lives?
Yes.
Let's do it, mama. Totally. You're a simp for this slut, and it's tragic to watch. And you need to figure your shit out. Which also like. Maybe Nick needs to hear that. Sand tries to interrupt. He basically insinuates that Sand is just hanging out with him so that he can keep getting money from Ray.
Which is so weird because you were the one convincing him to do it. He didn't want to do it, girl.
No.
You were the one who was...
It's
so
still
bad. So stemmed from the self-hate.
It sucks so... Oh, totally. It sucks so hard with the Sand moment because...
Sand is the only one that is actually trying to
reach out and like be there for Ray in a real way that his other friends are not. And it sucks to see the class thing brought up and like used against Sand because Sand works so hard.
You saw it. You followed him all day. Yes. You saw how his mom treats him.
Mm-hmm. He turns to Mew next. And he's like, you are my best friend, and I will always be here waiting for the day you finally love me. And everyone is like, oh, girl, we gotta let this go, girl. And then he calls Top a motherfucker. And then Mew gets pissed, and he punches Ray. There's a lot of punching, a lot of silent punching on the show. Silently punches Ray. Ray falls to the ground.
Get one girl doing Foley in the back.
Anyone. Girl, at this point...
Punch the damn bag
Google
of like...
search fucking sound effect. Punch sound effects.
Freesoundeffects.org. Yes. Whatever the fuck.
And just search punch. And you'll find one. Just use that. They finally throw Ray out of the bar after he's basically aired out everyone's dirty fucking laundry. Okay.
He stumbles out and like tries to like drive himself basically. And Sand of course chases him and he's like, I'm not letting you fucking drive yourself home. But then Ray brings it up again of like, well, you're just a whore that wants my money and like literally pushes him off.
Truly to the ground.
And then drives away.
A really great idea. Also, Sand was like, I don't give a fuck about you at this point.
I just don't want you to die.
I'm worried about other people on the road.
Yeah. But Sand still chases him in his little bike, his little moped.
Chum and April make up.
And you know what, girls?
And I think this is where the episode should have ended.
Because it was just like, okay, that all happened. This is how two people who actually... Communicate, care about each other, are in an actual loving relationship. Figure this out.
Because really, Chum's issue was like, I don't see April as much as I want. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't really get her.
I don't really get it. Yeah.
I don't get her art.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, I think for people who aren't necessarily in the arts, that are dating people who are super artistic, I think that is a problem that
yeah, I know. I think you're doing a good job of, understanding me.
And I think it happens a lot for a lot of people. And I think the thing of being like, I want you to tell me what you actually think, even if it's like, oh, I don't really get it. That's like valuable. I don't just want you to be like, oh, it's great. Because like, that doesn't help me in any way. And it also feels like you don't actually care. I'd rather, even if you don't get it, at least it feels more genuine to be like, it went right over my head, girl.
I don't understand. I hate to break it to you, girl.
I didn't understand what the baby smoking the cigar meant. I didn't get it. Sorry. What is it? It was a 5-minute video of a baby smoking a cigar. That was the whole thing. And you said it was about deforestation, and I'm not putting the puzzle together. April.
She's full dada.
I mean, that would be wild.
And so he's like, I don't understand. There's a pair of lips that's just like talking for 5 minutes.
It's
like
full Brecht.
Yeah. It's like, what is that? And she's like, it's supposed to alienate you as an audience member. There was a woman holding a sign that said she was the moon. Like, what?
Yeah. There's
a woman silently screaming for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So that scene's really good. They like figure their shit out. Mm-hmm. Amazing. That's going to be the last time I feel like on the show
we'll have any
people
sort
are going to figure their shit out.
Yeah. The ending of this episode, to me, was so beautiful to watch.
I will be thinking about this until the day I die.
Because, you know why? Because it fully validated to us all along how we felt about Mew. That there's like, not that he's like calculated, but he's capable.
Yes.
Of doing it.
He can also be petty.
Yes.
Yes. This felt like this ending. I'm going to say this. As a little gay boy who grew up watching the absolute insanity that was Desperate Housewives.
Oh, yeah.
This felt so Housewivesian.
This, mama, where do they live?
Wisteria Lane.
It's so Wisteria Lane.
And if you have never seen that first season of Desperate Housewives, honey,
Chef's Kiss.
It's a perfect season of television.
Yeah.
They go, I think they're are they at Muse?
No, yeah, they're at Muse.
Yeah, Muse, okay. Go back to Muse. Okay.
Mew lights a little candle.
Mew lights a candle. Mew's like, you know
Mew
what?
Mew connects his phone to Bluetooth. Remember that?
Yes. Mew is... They have a little conversation about Ray.
And he's fully like, you know what? I'm just ready to cut him off. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, Top is like, why are you even still friends with him? He's like, girl, who needs him?
Who needs him anymore? When I have you. A strapping man
big,
like you.
Strong, muscles rippling and bulging like you. Okay? Yeah. I would say laying it on thick.
Lay it on thick.
Weirdly, I was not getting the clues.
I know, me too.
That's what's crazy.
The entire time I was like, oh no.
Oh my God. I need fully. Because this is the... Okay, let's back up a second. When he tells Mew in the bar, on the mic, like, just I love you. That's pretty much all he says.
Yeah.
RJ was like, he loves him so much, he couldn't tell him the truth because he knew it would break his heart.
Yes. Ray, like, stops him, and you think that he's going to tell the truth, and he says, no, I love you.
They start making out because first of all, Mew was like, it's my fucking birthday.
And I want to be fucking bread.
Birthday.
Yeah.
Okay? This is hookup. I did write this down as hookup 11.
Oh, yeah.
I probably shouldn't count this technically.
Yes, because they definitely don't.
I don't know. I don't think the finishing happens here.
Very specific that Mew is on top of Top. And like holding his hands down. And like you can pinning him. Mm-hmm. Top is like trying to like.
Big for you, pinning.
Yeah, wrestling. Yes. Top trying to like. You know, like take power control out of it, and Mew is like fully like, no, we're having a Dom bottom moment, baby.
Yeah, power
bottom moment, and then it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it is so good. And if there's anyone that has been watching our recaps and have not watched OnlyFriends, and you're about to hear what I'm gonna say. You need to stop and you need to watch it. You don't even have to watch the whole thing. Just watch the scene.
Just go to part 4 of OnlyFriends.
Part 4 episode 6. Mew goes, do you know what I love, Top?
What do you love?
I love the sound you make when we have sex.
And Top says, and what sound is that?
And Mew goes, like this. And then plays the tape
on the Bluetooth speaker
on his little Sonos bar.
I felt like this was a religious experience going through
You know why? Because it's like the full fantasy of like when you catch someone and you have the upper hand. 100%. So you just get to play this full fantasy.
Yeah.
Of like, I am going to like take revenge.
Yeah. I'm going to let you know that I know about this in the most petty way possible. I'm going to get your dick hard And then we are going to not finish this session whatsoever.
You see in a flashback that Ray actually did stop him one more time after the bathroom.
Yep.
Sent him airdropped it to him.
And was like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You need to know.
You just need to know. And then leaves.
At what point did he listen to it?
I think then at that moment.
Right then?
Yeah.
Well, it's really Mew screaming
and Top's like, trying to no,
that's not what happened.
Explain whatever.
And at first Mew is like, how dare you do this to me?
When he says, were you and boss, like, did you got one, you were laughing about how you were laughing about, yes, you were laughing about how you were able to like
pull one over
the virgin. And Top is like, no, that's like, he reacts like, no, that's sick. And Mew is like, I don't like, what do you
can't even believe.
What do you expect me to think? I literally.
It's so good because we know that obviously it was like a one-time thing, and like Top is like a dick obviously for doing this, but he's not like continuously meeting up with Boston and like making fun of, like, he does seem to actually really like Mew.
Yeah. So even if this was just like a one-time mistake or whatever.
But it is, I think also like you would fully spiral and be like, oh, absolutely. So were you fucking tonight at the party too?
Literally.
Yeah. And then he goes and like holds Mew.
I didn't like this.
And I was like, don't do this. Like, kick the man out of
Kick him out of
You're in your apartment.
This is your house. Kick him out.
Kick him out, girl. Kick his ass to the curb.
Because he obviously was so distraught and he was crying, and then that Top holds him from behind him, and it's like, no.
And that's where the episode ends. The only thing that I wish is that we'd watched it maybe an hour or two earlier, because then we could have actually been screaming.
Yes, it was late.
It was late, so we were trying to be respectful of our neighbors, who are very cognizant of how loud we can get. So we could not scream, but I wanted to rip my throat out. I was like,
You were Mother Courage. You were silent screaming.
I was silent screaming. Mm-hmm.
Let's assess the threats.
Oh, Ray's extreme. Top's extreme. Boston's... Are we creating a new level for Boston? Like, just black? Like, just, like, devoid of human empathy?
Yeah.
Sociopathy?
Yeah.
Maybe. I think that's where he is here.
It's getting there.
He doesn't really do anything in this episode. I mean, technically, because of what he did set off every event that has happened in this episode.
Is everyone in level 5? Right?
No, they're all at 5.
They're all at 5. They're all at 5. They're all a mess. No one can even step foot in an airport.
MVP for the episode. The writer.
Miss Cake. No, it's Mew.
It's Mew.
He really, that killing part at the end really got me.
Yeah. I'll tell you who it's not. I'll tell you who the MVP is not. It's not Boston's dad. You know what? Because you already said Mew, I'm going to say this. I think it's April.
Yeah.
Because I really liked that scene, and I really thought she was very real about,
yes,
like,
totally.
I'm very frustrated with you, but I know we should talk about it. It was very communicative. Yes. I thought it was a good scene.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt like they, not necessarily like chemistry. I don't think you can like establish chemistry in a scene like that, but like, I felt like they were like in a real relationship. I felt like they were a real couple. I felt like she really cared about Chum's like feelings, and that's why she was so upset. I thought it was a good scene. I actually really liked her performance in that scene. I don't know where this is going. It looks like they're still going to keep fighting. Okay. Here's my prediction. We're halfway through the show. I don't think Boston and Nick are gonna get together at the end. Top and Mew will end up together.
I think San and Ray will end up together.
You think San and Ray are also going to end up together? That would make sense too. I think Top and Mew, it's going to be like, can Mew get over it? Can Mew move on? And can Top prove that he...
Now it's the real test.
Right. Now it's not this fake like Muse checklist of more opening checklists for test track. It's, real.
Then Ray, no more framing devices. No more
framing devices.
No more VOs.
No more voiceovers. This was not centered on one specific person.
Yeah.
Even though weirdly I still feel like I haven't gotten a top episode. Ray has to stop drinking. Ray has to go to rehab.
Go to a program.
Ray has to Ray needs help. This is very self-destructive. Drama-wise, great what happened in this episode, but real life, this is so.
This is when you tell your friends enough. We're done. Everyone is done.
Because you're not going to have anybody if you keep doing this.
Yeah.
You're not going to have anybody left. Yeah. These people are barely your friends to begin with, to be really honest. But you are actively pushing everybody away.
But it's that thing. If you've already convinced yourself that you're lonely and no one loves you.
That's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
And that's why you need to talk to someone that is trying to do this.
So on betterhelp.com, use the offer code. Just kidding. We are not sponsored.
And that's OnlyFriends.
That's it. Fuck this.
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.